Right, just waiting for the stream to go live before I start. Let's see when it shows up. If it's shown up yet. Yeah, there we go. Right. Hello, welcome to the stream if you're just tuning in. Which of course you are, because I've only just started it. If it's shown up yet. Right, yes, tonight I'm going to do a really short stream, but it's just kind of to talk about what I've been doing this week in Woodfel, and what I've been working on and how it's going. So the main thing I've been working on has been some security stuff and some admin tools for the game, so that when people are running servers, they can kind of maintain their server a little bit, kick and ban people if they're causing trouble, and hopefully later on keep an eye on how much traffic individual players are actually causing the server, because that's going to be quite important. I'll just get up the admin panel I've made and show you how this works. So basically has a list of, it's actually broken, has a list of players and what they and their status and their name and things like this, and basically you're able to kick, ban, whitelist, or make them an admin from that panel. And if I whitelist someone, then I show up there. So I've been whitelisted and I'm allowed to connect to the server. This is basically so that you can run your server in two basic modes. You can have it the normal mode, which is just you've got a ban list, and anyone who causes trouble you ban them and then they can't reconnect. Or you can run it with the whitelist enabled, and that's just, you've just got a list of people who are allowed to connect. So if anyone who isn't on the list tries to connect, they're automatically booted and they can't get in. So it's quite handy. You can kind of maintain the lists and see who's banned and who's whitelisted to connect. And you can add and remove them as you need to. It sounds quite simple, but it's been a little bit complex to do, especially for remote admins being able to get that information as well. I wanted to be careful about which information I sent to remote admins. I didn't want to send all the kind of identifying information like the IP address and the unique identifier, because I figured that might be insecure, and possibly open up some players to being abused by people if they find out their IP address or something. But I've just enabled it so that they can ban them based on just their connection ID for the server. So it seems to work quite well. I've tested it a little bit locally, and yeah, I can kick people, and they can't rejoin, or they can rejoin if they've just been kicked. This sort of thing, and it's quite simple. I don't expect there to be servers with hundreds of players anyway, that it would need to really maintain a massive list, and you'd have lots of different admins of different levels. It's really just going to be, I'd have thought, just small groups of people maintaining their own servers and maintaining servers with their friends a lot of the time as well. So that's the main thing that I've been doing with the admin tool. Other than that, haven't been, oh yes, there's also been the kind of basic networking security stuff. This one is like for any messages that come and go from the server, any requests from players, or information being sent to players, needs to be kind of verified that it's the right person that they're communicating with at the time. And this is an important one for making sure that people can't connect to the server and start doing things without any authority. For example, the player tools that they use to dig around in the world and things. If you could connect and use those tools without any validation, you could technically flatten the world very quickly. So we don't want that to happen. It needs to run through validation and all sorts of stuff. Those actions are all validated anyway against the player character, but there's other ones that potentially people could come in and just cause lots of requests without any sort of validation of who they are or if they're the player that we think they are. So I've been trying to solidify that a bit, and I think I've got it to a good place. Some stuff of UNet, which is Unity's networking library, is quite it's quite difficult to understand straight away what they're doing on their side of the system, because you've got obviously there's a thing called a high-level API and a low-level API, and the code for it is all available, but I don't often delve into that and see how they're doing specific features. But you know, they give you the scripting guide, so you can tell basically how the components are supposed to work and how you're essentially going to interact with them. But yeah, it can be a little bit of a black box until obviously you go and look at the code and you can figure out how it works. But it's also looking at someone else's quite complex SDK and figuring out, wait, what are they expecting to do? What order of events is this happening in? That can be fun to try and figure out. So yeah, hopefully it's secure, that they've made it secure on their side of things, and then all of the communication that I'm implementing should also be secure. So in theory, that means that the game won't be completely hackable. Like I'm saying, like if people figure out how to do things that I didn't anticipate, such as flatten the world. You know, you could be running, you and your friends could be running a server. Someone connects to you with a hacked client and just destroys everything you've built in a handful of seconds, and you might not be able to recover it. I mean, they'll also have like server backups and things, like probably something along the lines of every half an hour it'll save the entire world, or an admin can save it at any point, just so that if anything tragic like that does happen, you can ban people and then reload your world where it was, hopefully not too long ago. That is another thing that we'll be working on quite soon. It's not hugely complex, it's just saving the world. If there's a lot of data you want to save, can be a little bit of a complex task, and you kind of need to stop any actions that might be happening. For example, someone's digging in the world and they send off a command saying, I want to remove this block. You need to be like, hold on a second, you can't do that at the moment because I'm saving, and that could take maybe a second or two to save the world. But that little jump, you need to make sure that things are handled sequentially, because otherwise things can go wrong. So that's something that I'm going to be doing next anyway. I'm digging a lot of sand here for no particular reason. I'm just digging while I talk. I'm going to actually build a little bit of a wall, but I'm going to need to find some rock as well, I think. Some sand and rock, and then I'll be able to make some sandstone blocks. And then I can make a wall. That's the wrong kind of stone. What I need is this stuff underground. I think, if I remember the recipe correctly, I might be completely wrong. Forgetting how to play my own game. Right. Let's have a look. I need to find... Yeah, those. Sand, got plenty of sand, and more stone ore. I can make, well, if I get enough, I can make 3 lots of this, and then I've got 30 sandstone blocks left. Actually, I'm going to build these ones, which use the same amount of components anyway. I'm also going to go and get that sunstone, so that I can make these glowy blocks, because they're always fun to put in places and make things look pretty. But yeah, so that's the security stuff that we're working on this week is a really important but annoyingly boring one, because you can't really post screenshots about, oh look, I made a whitelist. It allows me to stop people connecting. Woo! It's not very interesting, unfortunately. Not interesting, but important, and thus it's good to get it out of the way now. I kind of wanted to get some of the more boring stuff out of the way now, so that as I get closer to the point where I'm thinking about releasing it, I'm doing more exciting features. More visual ones, really, that I can show off and tweet about and make videos about, and people will be, oh, that looks really cool, what is that all about? Whereas if I was doing, if in the remaining month before releasing I was talking about ban systems and network security, it's going to be pretty lame. No one's going to be interested in that, so not going to be good for the marketing push that I intend to do at the end, you know, when or closer to the end of the product. Right, how much? A little bit more stone, and then I should be able to build 3 lots of the sandbox. I'll pick up some of this as well, because the glowy blocks that I was talking about, I need this stuff. Right, so I should be able to do 3 lots of this. Let's have a look. Yeah, and a little bit left over. Okay, so that's, yeah, I've got 30 blocks I can play with, and then the glowy ones, I need 10 of those, 2 of those, so I can do 2 lots of these, and that would be really handy for making the wall look shiny. There we go. Right, now the question is, where am I going to put my wall? Where am I going to build it? I think I'm going to go over to the grass bit, because I think that's slightly nicer looking. So I'm getting a dry throat here, talking too much. Right, I'm going to start building a wall here. Sandy wall. As you can see, I built a whole bunch of blocks, but they go pretty quickly when you're trying to build something of any particular size. But this is going to be part of the thing of the game, like getting enough resources to build some pretty large structures and just slowly, yeah, building up huge things that you might want to build. Something I was saying in the, I think I said it in the other stream the other day. I do plan to allow people to build the kind of the housing structures actually anywhere in the world once I can make sure that I can do that, that it's not going to be prohibitive in some way, and I think that will be a lot more fun, because you can kind of then you can build your larger structures out of the world blocks, and then you can just pull out your other smaller things and build your finer housing details or fortification details and stuff, and it allows you to kind of decorate your larger stuff as well with fences and light fixtures and things like that. So that'll be fun. There you go. I'm building the Great Wall. The Great Wall of Lefty is what we'll call it. Always liked in Minecraft making really long tunnels through places, and I quite like doing it in this game, in my game as well. Something about, like, you know, say you're digging through a big hill or something, and then you find a cave, and then you have to build a path through the cave. Always, for some random reason, I always quite enjoy doing that. And so that's something that I want to do. I want it to work nicely in my game. Like, so say you do discover a cave inside a hill somewhere, it's got to be a bit rewarding. You know, you've got to have stuff spawn in that cave that's going to be useful, be it rarer creatures that drop some of the stuff you need to make nicer clothing or something like that, or random like spawn chests or just other rare resources. And it also item drops is something that's going to be in the game, like proper item drops. Like you get a sword and it'll be like, it'll have actual stats, probably dynamically generated stats, so I don't have to create like lots and lots of different molds. But yeah, then there's a chance, like whenever you do find some chest or something in a hill under a mountain, in a cave under a mountain, it's exciting, and you'll be like, "Oh, what's in it? It's a cool sword, or it's another one of these rubbish swords that I've had 5 with better stats than this one. Damn it!" keep looking for the next one though, and you might get something cool. That's the sort of stuff I want to be working on. Just really interesting stuff that it's fun to stream about. I mean, at the moment, I've got with the game, I've got what I think is the basic sandbox is created. You've got the voxel system for building the actual world tiles, and you've got another building system. You've got the character equipment system, and you've got basic combat. But there's nothing, like, I haven't used these systems in particularly interesting ways at the moment, and that's what I need to get into. The combat is a big one. There was a complaint during the Greenlight campaign that the combat looked a bit boring, and it totally does. It's just, at the moment, it's just fire the odd fireball like these ones here. Just go, pew, and it looks pretty, but it's not particularly interesting. It would be more fun in PvP because it bit of a skill shot to actually manage to hit someone else. But I need to do more interesting things like dodge moves and things. So like if anyone's played Final Fantasy 14, your some of your classes in that, they have really cool dodge abilities. So you've got like a really quick backstep on the Ranger class on the Bard, if anyone's played one of those, and it's just quite fun. It's got a cooldown, so you've got to be careful when you use it, so you don't use it at the wrong time. But you know when an enemy's about to do a big AoE attack in front of you, right in your face, you can just use it and jump back really quickly, and it's quite fun. Keeps it quite dynamic. So things like that to make movement more important, and obviously having AoE abilities as well would be cool. At the moment, all I've got is the fireball, and it's like a little heal ability, or you can just hit things as well. Just using this one, it hits anything it can, but it doesn't do any damage to the blocks in the ground. Later on, maybe it will. At the moment, I know I've got the delete tool is like a thing that brings out like a square cursor, and that's what the block is going to delete. Whether I keep it like that or change it to use the combat ability, so you can equip a big spade or something and just start hitting the floor to break blocks. Maybe that would be more fun, and it might make slightly more sense than this random kind of abstract cursor that you've got in the world. I'll see how it feels as I go on. It's nice to at least consider changes like that. I know it's a system that I've made and I've kind of moved on from, but it shouldn't be like a closed box that I'm never going to open again and just be like, no, that's done, never again. Even though some of it is a nightmare to work with. I've kind of forgotten about my wall here. I should get back to building some of that. At some point in the stream, I'm going to make an enormous pyramid, because it's just, I like pyramids as well. It's cool. I think that's probably the main reason I made the sandstone blocks, was to make some reasonably interesting kind of Egyptian-y kind of structures. Egyptian-y is a word, just made it up. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's fine. Right, how many blocks do I need between these? 1, 2, 3, 4 between the lights. Okay. Oh, we're out of my weird physics-defying structure is now incomplete. Right, okay, time to get more sand. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be working on for the rest of this week. I've got the security stuff isn't completely done. I've got it to a place where I could leave it, but I want to check over a few more things and make sure that I'm confident that, yeah, this is kind of robust and isn't going to be easily hackable by the first script kid that comes along and just ruins my game. So do a little bit more, and then I want to get onto something a bit more visual, like the mentioned before, the airship system. I want to make like a some sort of basic airship with maybe it's got like one kind of slot on it where that you can equip something, and that could be, it could be a gun, could be a better engine, or a storage like box of some sort. So I want to make one of the holes, and then like probably a couple of basic models for these. Like it'll be a part on the ship where just when you install it, this thing appears on it, and that's the bit you've installed. That can then probably be removed and put onto something else. I really hate it in games where once you've used something like a gem on an item, that you can never get it back again. It's always frustrating, especially if it's something you've taken a little while to get the resources for, and then it's just kind of, you know, it's fused and then it's gone. It always winds me up. I always want to be like, well, I've got this cool gem, but I just got a better bit of equipment and I want to put it in that. Same for this airship system. I think if you say you've spent a while making a cool engine, you might then buy, not buy, but craft a bigger airship hull, and then you'd be like, right now I want to actually put my cool engine in my new airship, but I can't if I wasn't allowed to allow them to extract the bits, but I'll just allow them to just take them all apart. Just to basically be as friendly as possible to the people playing the game. I mean, people running their servers, they can have access to all the cheats that they want anyway, so you know, if they want to spawn 40 airships fully equipped in front of them, they'll be able to do that. Probably take the fun out of building them yourself, but you know, some people, they just want to play around for a while, so you have to allow it. Yeah, something about the airship system. I haven't yet decided how I want to enable them to be piloted. Whether you kind of, if you've got like the wheel of the ship that you go up to, and you use that, and then it's kind of, your movement is locked, and your controls become the airship movement. That's one way of doing it. Another way would be when you are near to the controls, maybe some on-screen controls come up, and you can use those separate to your own movement, so you can still, like, you can be, you know, clicking around, like turning the ship to the right or to the left, or but like just, you know, you just move away or jump off the thing, and those controls disappear. Something that occurred to me is I'll have to make it so that if no one is on the airship, it probably has to come to a stop, just so that it doesn't, like, if you do accidentally jump off your amazing airship, it doesn't just go flying off the world and you can never get it back. It's like, bye, so nice to see you. So that'll be something to think about. I guess it makes sense as well. If no one's on the ship, it shouldn't just go flying off. As funny as it would be, like, for you to just kind of be, you just jump off and you think, right, I'll just go and get that. Oh wait, I didn't stop my ship, and just to stand there and watch it go off into the distance. You're like, it was nice knowing you. Then you build another one and you move on with your life. But yeah, I don't know if I'll start with modeling an airship or like a hot air balloon kind of thing. That might be like the basic one, would be a hot air balloon. So it's kind of quite bulky, quite slow, and like I was saying, only one slot. And then when you upgrade to like an airship, you've got two or three slots maybe, and then you can go up to like a battle airship or something, and that's got, you know, 5 slots, and you can have guns all over it, and just destroy your friends when you manage to catch up to them or something. Something else that the admin panel is going to have the ability to turn on and off PvP, because I can see, you know, some people they'll want to run a server where there is no PvP, and you always get that troll come along who'll be like, I'm just going to shoot people anyway, even if you've got like a server rule of everyone should be friends here, don't kill everyone. So yeah, I'll have that option, so you can just toggle on or toggle off PvP, and then you'll probably be able to still target and cast at people, but it will never damage them. It's a really simple one to kind of action on the whole system. So yeah, we quite it'd be quite fun to have that option. And you can always then just troll your friends by saying, "Oh no, PvP's off," and then they do something, and you just go, "Aha, surprise!" and just destroy them. For those players who like to be evil to everyone. Did I actually get any sand? Yes, I did. Got loads of sand. Cool. Okay. Right. Craft some more bricks. Not sure how many I can do. Can't be asked to go and count. That's something I need to do. Have like a little thing, probably in the list that says how many of this particular one you can craft. At the moment, it will let you craft it until it'll let you craft it until you can't, and it will just give you a little message in the console you can't craft anymore. But I should probably just disable the button. But to do that, it needs to keep a running counter of all the materials you've gathered, or that are in your inventory that you've got access to. And like every time you use something, it's got to update its list that it's keeping. So it's nothing huge because it's just on the client, and it's only got to do it for your local client. It's not going to be anything on the server for that. So that should be a nice little addition. So you can definitely tell, like when you're running around and gathering things, you could have your crafting window up, and you can just see, you might have it to the side, and you can be like, yep, now I can build 4 lots of these, and that's exactly what I need to do, what I'm trying to do. I know for the house stuff, that would be really handy, because you kind of, when you need like lots of walls or something to make a really big house, you want to know, like, seriously, how much wood do I need before I can go home and start building again? Also, who keeps putting all these trees in the way? It's a long way. Damn trees. At the moment, there's a funny thing where the trees, they don't look for a particular type of block to spawn on. They just look down until they find the world, and they say, right, I'm going to spawn there now. New tree. So you'll get trees spawning, like when I build this wall, I'll get trees spawning on the wall probably, which is a bit weird. I should really have it check the kind of block that's below it, and have certain things that will spawn on certain things. Cactuses in the desert, and trees will just spawn on the grass and things like that. So yeah, so that'll be fun. I don't know, fun. It'll make more sense is what it means. But it will allow me to make, when there's different biomes, I'll be able to spawn specific kinds of resources in the correct biome, and then it encourages a bit more exploration into the world. I'm going to call it a night now. I just wanted to do a short dev stream, just like I say, just to catch people up on what I've been doing. Why I've been a bit quiet on Twitter about development is just because it's just boring stuff that doesn't interest anyone and barely interests me sometimes. It's like, who cares about server security? Just why doesn't anyone just not hack games, and then I can concentrate on the cool features? But it's just something I've got to do. But thanks to everyone who watched, or anyone who watched. And yeah, I know I wasn't really concentrating on what I was doing in the game. I was more just concentrating on talking about what I was thinking about. But as time goes on, I will hopefully get more adept at that and be able to do something interesting while I talk about what I'm doing. But yeah, thanks for watching. Good night. Bye.